Second grade friends? Do you want to do a story problem? Come on, let's read and represent. I want to see you jot your thoughts. Represent, think which one makes most sense. Miss Kim's a little lonely. I just want to do a story problem with you. Do you want to do a story problem? It's a super fun story problem. Okay, let's start. Okay, friends, we're gonna do a story problem today. Woohoo! All right. Remember, whenever we do a story problem, the first thing we do is we visualize and jot. That means we read the question 3 times. We jot the big question. If we're comparing, we have to jot what's more and what's less. Then we represent. That means we have to think which representation best matches the story problem. We know we have a number bond, a bar model, a tape diagram. Remember, this is only when we're comparing, and number sentences. If you want to, you can also represent with circles or with a picture, any way you want. Next up is to retell. Retelling is kind of tricky because we don't have our partners anymore, but you can retell to like a friend or maybe to your grown-up or maybe to like a sibling. Or if you want to, you can just pretend like you're retelling to Miss Kim. Or you can call me. I'll listen to your retell. Okay. Then the last step is to finish the story. Whenever we finish the story, we have to remember to finish the story with a complete sentence. Alright, so we're going to do a story problem. It's going to be a little bit different from the way we usually do it because we're at home, but we're just going to try our best. Okie dokie. Here's the story problem today. Let me think. What is my first step again? Oh yeah, it's to visualize and jot. That means I have to read the question 3 times, jot the big question, and if I'm comparing, jot more and less. Okay, let me see. Daniel had 23 more toys than Zariah. Zariah had 49 toys. How many toys did Daniel have? It's hard for you to jot because you don't have this on your paper. So if you have a paper, go ahead and write the story problem down so that you can do your jots. Or you can just do your jots on like a blank piece of paper and just use the video to help you. Okay, I'm going to read it a second time. The second time I'm reading, I'm going to think, what is the big question? Daniel had 23 more toys than Zariah. Zariah had 49 toys. How many toys did Daniel have? What is the big question? Let me read that last part again. How many toys did Daniel have? Ooh, my big question is how many toys did Daniel have? Okay, my third time, I'm going to do my jots. Daniel had 23 more toys than Zariah. Oh my gosh, my friends, this part is so important. Daniel had 23 more toys than Zariah. What should I jot? That's right, the 23 more toys, that's the difference between Daniel and Zariah. That tells me that today I am comparing Daniel's toys with Zariah's toys. Let me keep reading. Zariah had 49 toys. What are you gonna jot? I'm gonna jot Z for Zariah because those 49 toys belong to Zariah. How many toys did Daniel have? What are you gonna jot? Yep, that's my big question, so I'm gonna jot BQ Daniel and put a question mark because my big question is how many Daniel had. Let me look back to see if I missed anything. Okay, visualizing and jotting. Did I read the question 3 times? Check. Did I jot that big question? Check. Am I comparing? Oh yeah, I am. I'm comparing Daniel and Zariah. Ooh, if I'm comparing, I need to jot what is more and what is less. I forgot to do that. Let me do that right now. So let me jot more and less. I want you to figure out who is more and who is less. Only press play when you're ready to see the answer. Okay, are you ready? Daniel has more and Zariah has less. How do I know? I know because in the story it says Daniel had more toys than Zariah. That means Daniel has more toys. So I put Daniel as more. If Daniel has more, then that means Zariah has to have less. Okay. Let me look back at my checklist. Okay, so I did jot who had more and who had less. Now I can move on to my second step, which is to represent. When I represent, I know I can represent using a picture or a number sentence that makes sense to my brain. What kind of representation are you going to use to represent? Go ahead and represent on your paper first. Only press play when or press pause and represent on your paper first. Only press play when you're ready to see how Miss Kim represented. Are you ready? Only press play if you're ready to see the answer. Okay. All right, I'm gonna show you how Miss Kim would represent the story problem. Okay, so looking here, I'm gonna represent using a tape diagram because I'm comparing. So first I'm gonna draw my tape diagram. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my labels. I can look at my more and my less jot to figure out my labels. Oh, in the big box, I need to put D for Daniel because Daniel had more, so I'm going to put Daniel in the big box. Then I'm going to put Z for Zariah for the little box because Zariah had less. This space is always for the difference between Daniel's toys and Zariah's toys. Okay, now I can fill in my numbers. Daniel, do I know how many Daniel had? Let me read it. Daniel had 23 more toys than Zariah. Did some of you put 23 for Daniel? That is incorrect because this 23, that doesn't belong to Daniel. That's just the more toys he had than Zariah. That means the 23 is the difference. So I'm actually going to put 23 right over here where it says difference, not where it says Daniel. Let me keep reading. Zariah had 49 toys. Ooh. Those toys belong to Zariah. That's why I put a Z for Zariah. So where it says Z for Zariah, I'm going to put 49. Then how many toys did Daniel have? Okay, let me put a question mark because that question tells me that I don't know how many Daniel has. In fact, Daniel's my big question. So let me put a big old question mark because that's my big question. Okay. Did you represent like Miss Kim did? If you didn't, if you have a different representation, then please fix your work so it matches mine. I'll give you a moment to do that. Okay. Ms. Kim is going to skip the retell because she basically retold it while I was representing to you. I'm going to move on to solve. When I'm solving, I have to think, am I missing the whole? If I'm missing the whole, I need to add. If I'm missing the part, then I need to subtract. And then I need to wait and think, is there a little question and a big question? If so, then I need to solve 2 times. So it's time to solve on your own. Think, am I missing the whole or am I missing the part? I'm going to let you go ahead and solve on your own first. Only so you can pause the video, solve on your own first. Only press play when you're ready to see the answer. Are you ready? Okay, only press play if you're ready to see the answer. Okie dokie. So, when I look at my checklist, I see where it says solve. I have to think if I'm missing the whole or if I'm missing the part. So, the first thing I'm going to do is label my representation with the holes and the parts. The big box is the whole. The little box is a part, and this difference is a part. The question mark is for the whole. That means I'm missing the whole. Let me look back at my checklist. When I'm missing the whole, I need to add. That's right, I need to add. So I'm going to write a number sentence that shows me I need to add. So 49 plus 23 equals question mark. That's my solution equation because it tells me what to do. Now I can solve. Today, Ms. Kim is going to solve using sticks and dots and then check her work using expanded notation. So 49, 1, 2, 3, 4 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ones, then 23, 2 tens, 3 ones, 1, 2, 3, Let me count my ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ones. That means I can regroup. Boop. And I'm going to regroup those 10 ones into a 10. Let me see. Now I only have 2 ones left. Plus 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 equals 72. Let me check my work using expanded notation. So 49, 40 plus 9, 23, 20 plus 3. Oh, Miss Kim's pen is running out of ink. Let me get another one. Okay, got one. All right, I'm gonna add my ones first, just like I did over here. 9 plus 3 is 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's 12. I have so many ones. When I have so many ones, that means I can regroup 10 ones into a 10. That means I have 2 ones left. Plus 10 plus 40 plus 20 is 70 equals 72. I got the same answer as I did before. So my answer is 72. Okay, now let me look back at my checklist. Okay, I was missing the hole, so I added. And wait, is there a little question and a big question today? Let me look. No, I only had one representation, and I only had a big question, so I don't actually need to worry about that. So I'm done with solving. Check. The last step is to finish the story. I'm gonna let you finish the story first, and then press pause and finish the story first on your paper, and then press play when you're ready to see Miss Kim's work. Are you ready? Okay, only press play if you're ready to see Miss Kim's work. Okay, so I was on the last step. The last step is to finish the story. That means I have to finish the story with a complete sentence. My answer is 72, but I'm not just going to write 72 because I need a complete sentence. So let me go back to the story problem. How many toys did Daniel have? That's the question I need to answer. So I'm going to write Daniel had 72 toys. Oh, and Miss Kim forgot to do something important. I forgot to put my answer back in the blank. So I'm going to make sure I put my answer back in the blank. Oops. Okay. And I am done. Okay. Now, I want you to try your own. So you can go into the Google Classroom if you want to see the story problem, or you can just copy it down from Miss Kim's paper. So it says, oh, and if you need help logging into Google Classroom, then I have a video of how to log into Google Classroom on my channel, so you can go find that video, okay? So here's a story problem I want you to do on your own. Kimmy had 19 fewer balloons than Milton. Kimmy had 67 balloons. How many balloons did Milton have? I want you to follow all of the story problem steps. That means visualize and jot, represent, retell to someone like a grown-up or maybe a sibling, solve, and finish the story all on your own. When you are done, I want you to take a picture of your work, and you can either text it to Miss Kim or you can upload it to Google Classroom. Again, if you don't know how to log into Google Classroom, you can find the video on Miss Kim's YouTube page, or I'll link it in the description right underneath the video, okay? So try this one on your own. Take a picture. I want to see your beautiful thinking.